start with your elevator pitch.
What are we selling? Well, whether it's on the land or the water, we're selling passion, excitement, sport, engagement. Just using sport however we can to get people engaged. Whether that's on a running race, achieve a marathon, a bike race, convincing people to take the Alps on for 7 days with just a bike and a pair of legs. Whether it's Biathlon World Cup, whether it's sailing, whether that's sailing around the world, whether it's sailing in a few metres from people, trying to get non-sailors engaged with the sport, whether it's helping organising someone else's event.
Okay.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters.
And who are your customers?
Once you become an event organiser, you realise you've got a lot of stakeholders. So rather than customers, perhaps, I mean, we've got public, we've got media, we've got sponsors of teams that are raising funding to compete in our events. We've got sponsors of events, host cities, our internal team, 50 of us. They're all our customers, and they're probably actually all as equally as important. And you've got to keep them all happy at the same time as much as you can.
And what about your end user, your consumer?
Well, again, you're defining the consumer, defining the end user is quite difficult, because the sponsors of a boat in one of our events have got end users. We need to help them look after them. The host city has got their end users, perhaps their local population or their tourism targets. So I think that's one of our challenges. You know, across all the different events, you've got a very wide set of people that you're trying to get to. Clearly, when you zoom in on one sponsor, we can define their target audience and their target market, and then we'll be modifying what we're doing to try and get to those people. But at the same time, perhaps there's a danger in sometimes targeting the consumer, using the word consumer.
Well, you have a B2B product anyway, though, don't you? So
with Extreme Sailing Series, it started out as a B2B product, yeah. But very quickly you realise that you can't. It's quite hard to create a scaled, scale up a B2B product without it becoming a public product too. And that's what we found with the iShares Cup, the Extreme Sailing Series, because year one was very B2B focused, but actually the B2B experience is enhanced by the fans being there in bigger numbers because they feel VIP, more VIP. The B2B experience is enhanced by the media coverage. Media coverage is hard to get from a pure B2B event because, again, the media need to feel there's a big thing going on. To make a big event, you need a host city venue involved, therefore you need more public. So that's our path, our journey has been start with a B2B, great B2B product, and it still is a great B2B product, actually end up knowing that we've got to create a big public event.
And for the teams in the Extreme Series, what's the business model for teams?
Business model is they're all commercially funded, which is from us absolute DNA for Extreme Sailing Series from day one. We've not been trying to attract private owners. Everyone's got sponsors and funding of different kinds. And obviously they have their own different models. Again, some of them are B2B focused, and they're just justifying what is ultimately tens of thousands rather than hundreds of thousands of euros per market. They could be justifying that on a pure client entertainment level. Others, Red Bull, it's absolutely about getting out there amongst the people as much as we can, from a media perspective in particular. For others, internal communications remains one of sailing's biggest problem areas. Bringing teams of people together. So there's a whole range of different models there, but fundamentally they've all got to show a strong return on their investment. And
a final question, which doesn't necessarily have to be sailing related. What's an innovation in sports marketing that you can think of in the last 10-20 years that's been a real game changer?
I suppose the general answer, the technology side of things is fundamental for the kind of sports we're in, which are, we're not in football, we're not in a place where people are buying rights, or you basically list your rights and you'll have someone wanting them at a price. We're in a world we have to fight to exist, and the internet, technology, social media, all those things are enablers for sports like ours because we've got our own direct distribution channels. Afterwards, we've got to find a way to resource that and make that work, and you've got to have great content to make that work. But actually, that for a sport like sailing, and certainly the other things we're in, that is been the biggest fundamental change, and a fantastic one for sports that don't sit in that top 3, top 4 zone.
Thanks, Mark.